are here with the winning coach of this really, what I would say, wild football game. How would you describe it?
Like you just said, wild. A lot of highs, a lot of lows, we shot ourselves in the foot, a lot of things. We got a huge break, and that was my message to our guys: is to just like in life, trying to be consistent, and that's such a hard thing for anybody. And not to get too excited or get too low, and just keep battling and keep playing. And that's what I really believe. That's what those kids did tonight. And that's why I'm so proud of them.
Well, you really did. I mean, they really showed a lot of heart tonight. I thought the difference, really the scenario between this game and the Augusta game, when you were like going with 4 minutes to go in the third quarter, it was an eerily similar type of game. And tonight you seized control as opposed to last week when you kind of let it get away.
We focused this week in practice on just trying to do the little things right. And I know that's such a cliche by every coach to say, but literally we spent time on first steps and just trying to take some mental reps, just to not put ourselves behind the 8 ball before we even snap the football. And I think those guys did a better job tonight. I mean, we were literally just watching steps, and I think little things like that wasn't the key by any means, but just little things like that make a huge difference. And we're trying to get those guys to understand that. There's numerous times in this game where a kid would screw something up, but then we go back to it and he would make it, the correct read or make the correct adjustment. And that's what excites you as a coach, when you can see that growth out of a guy, learn from his mistakes and get better from them.
Yeah, that was quite a play that you designed, a fumble to go to the offensive lineman for about 20 yards. I mean, you worked hard on that particular play.
That was a lot of work. Yeah.
Do you sometimes think that football is a game of luck more than anything else?
I mean, they'll say a lot of times we didn't catch a lot of breaks, but I just think at the end of the day, if you just keep working, breaks will find your way.
On the negative front, you had several turnovers tonight. I mean, that could have probably cost you the game.
Yeah, very easily. We're in a situation where we're telling the guys 2 hands on the football all the time, unless they break out and they can score. And we just got to continue to harp those guys and focus on that.
Yeah.
Just do a better job with our execution.
And I really thought maybe you might have been in trouble with that Damon kid, especially when he broke one for a touchdown. Did you do anything to contain his speed in the second half, or?
We stuck with the same game plan. I mean, we weren't going to kick to him. We got to get some things figured out on our kickoff group, but they've got some really talented athletes, and it's hard for us to match up in space with those guys. That's not going to be one of our strengths. I mean, our kids are going to go out and play hard, but we tried to do some things to help ourselves out with what we're doing with our reads. But those are some talented kids they've got.
Yeah, I think, and no offense on Wellington, but I mean, from a athletic perspective, it looked like Goddard probably had a few more athletes in the show. Do they have a lot more kids than they had last year? Or a lot of different kids, or?
Well, yeah. I mean, I think it's one of the growing 5A schools in the state of Kansas, and I think they're having an influx in enrollment and those things. But
this was a big win. How would you rate this as far as big wins that you personally have had in Wellington?
I mean, it's a great win, but each win is special with that group of kids that you share it with, and so for me, it's a great win with this group of kids, and therefore I'm excited. I'm excited for them. It doesn't really mean, it's not about me, it's about those guys. And so it's a group. They're a new group. They're their own identity, and that's a great win for those guys as a group.
Well, I tell you what, Connor Phelps, he's been in your system for 3 years now. He looked like a senior football player tonight.
He did. And I probably was joking to you one time. My coaches kind of laughed that it's like the kid's been in the program forever, because you've heard his name when he was a sophomore and junior, and then especially tonight. He's a special player. He's a special kid. He does some things that you can't coach. He's just got a great feel for the game.
And then I noticed you brought in Kopp, which he didn't even have any carries the first game. Am I correct?
He did. He had 1 carry. He's a big, strong kid. I mean, he's 6'2", 210 pounds, and
I thought he looked pretty good as far as
he's not going to run. He's not going to juke you. He's just going to lower his shoulder pads and just try and run you over, and that's what we've told him to do. So.
And then Gilkey, boy, I tell you what, that was quite the. He had 2 really nice runs, especially that last one that gave you a key first down on that last drive.
that was a gutsy run. So I was real proud of that. That was just a great effort on his
Did
part.
you ever consider any kind of chicanery or trickery in that last drive? I kept thinking that you were going to pull something. And did you ever have that feeling?
You know, that's the thing. I mean, it's we're doing what we do, and you know, it's gonna look bad at times and it might look good at times, but I mean, there's some things I think that we'll continue to work on in terms of that, but we're just trying to get really good at what we're doing, and so yeah, you might see some stuff like that down the road. But
that drive there, though, that last drive was just a really gutsy performance, Coach. I mean, I think that's probably something you can probably rally around, don't you think?
I hope so. That's what I want. My message is gonna be loud and clear that this is just a step for what we want to accomplish. We've got some unbelievably tough opponents coming up, and we got to continue to get better.
Oh yeah. So
then those mistakes won't be so kind to us next time. So.
All right. Well, congratulations.
Thank you.
All right. We'll see you.